just want to give you just a little background on Acts of Apostle. Some of you heard me say this week in concerning the Gospels, as well as the New Testament church, there's a lot of history. The New Testament church is divided into several categories. On this wise, you may ask, they have the history of the church. There's a book out called The History of the Apostolic Church, and there's also a book out called The Fathers of the Faith, or the Apostolic Fathers. They describe, I believe it was like 5 periods in church history concerning the church. They talked about the Apostolic Church, the persecuted church, the medieval church, then all the way down to us now, the modern church, and then after the medieval, we find the Christian church during the time of the Crusaders. Now you may ask the question, why? In Acts chapter 1 or chapter 2 describes to us the birth of the church, which is called the Apostolic Church. Due to the fact that the church was birthed there, and when Peter preached, after coming down from the upper room, being endowed with power from on high, he was a spokesman for the original 12. He said this was prophesied by the prophet Joel, that he will pour out the Spirit upon all flesh, and young men shall see dreams, old men shall have visions. And during this time, this was during the time of Pentecost. A lot of people don't really know what they celebrate Pentecost, but they really don't know what Pentecost really is. The word Pentecost just basically means 50. That's all it means. Or the Feast of Purim. Now, anybody familiar with Esther? Esther went before the king fasting for 3 days for the behalf of people and her uncle Mordecai, because he was a Jew, and the gentleman, Haman, that was there was an enemy of the Jews, and he wanted to hang him by the gallows. If you're familiar, if you read your Bible, you're familiar with it.
Amen.
But here, it was something there with Pentecost that God wanted to keep in mind. Again, 50. Again, many people say, well, I'm Pentecostal, I'm this, I'm that. But I often tell people, you can't say you're Pentecostal, because if you say you're Pentecostal, 50 means as a type of Pentecostal. We believe in the Pentecostal experience. And what was the Pentecostal experience? The upper room, being baptized in the Holy Ghost, with speaking in tongues as the Spirit gave them utterance. This is an experience and not a belief.
Amen.
Hello, somebody.
Amen.
So a lot of people but teach that and don't break it down to make the people plain. So every time Pentecost come around, everybody comes dressed in white. They're celebrating Pentecost, but they don't have the full understanding of what Pentecost really is. But again, then it came down to the persecuted church. After the gospel was spread, after Peter preached the first time in Acts chapter 2, there was 5,000 souls that was added. In Acts chapter, I believe it's 4, it talked about he preached again in great power. God gave the apostles to confirm the gospel, and then 3,000 souls were added. They stayed on fire all the way up through those periods, from AD 900 all the way down to a certain point. Again, you heard me talk about the war that went on after Jesus had made the plea to the Jews. The medieval period came on the scene, or the Christian church. Then after that medieval period, they had the Crusaders. I don't know if anybody have ever seen, there has a movie out that Harrison Ford done several years ago, and which is very popular, by George Lucas, who's the producer. He always talked about Raiders of the Lost Ark. Have you ever seen that? Some of that is tied in the